Our third laureate is Rick Mercer. Rick Mercer has channeled his acerbic wit and keen insight into a career as one of Canada's foremost political and social commentators. Renowned for his starring roles in the satirical TV shows This Hour's 22 Minutes, Talking to Americans, Made in Canada, and of course, Rick Mercer Report. He's built a loyal fan base eager to hear his views on everything from the shenanigans on Parliament Hill to homophobic bullying in schools. His work has consistently earned top ratings even as he challenged public discourse on important political and cultural issues with his outspoken and very Canadian humor. Your Excellency, Rick Mercer.
Your Excellency, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, and I have to say it, the choir. Wow. I really wanted to clap between each song. I didn't know what the protocol was. I got excited when they said they were calling up a soprano. I thought that was my chance. This is an incredible honor. We have been asked, the laureates, to come up here and speak and to sum up our career or our body of work in about 250 words or less. I happen to know 250 words is a ridiculous number of words when it comes to summing up anything. I know this because 250 words is actually the right amount of words for a good rant. So I have some experience in this area. What I can't do is start thanking people who I owe my career to, thanking people that helped me along the way, because if I start doing that now, I'll still be here this time tomorrow, and no one wants that. I will say that receiving this honor has caused me to reflect on my career and my body of work and my life, and I should say that I hate reflecting on things. It's not one of my favorite things at all. But looking at my body of work, it dawns on me, and it's evident to me in hindsight, that I never would have had the career that I could have had and produced the work that I could have had if it wasn't for cultural institutions in Canada. And I don't think enough artists take time to thank the institutions that helped them get to where they are. I was 18 years old. I walked into the LSPU Hall in St. John's, Newfoundland. It's a small theater, a very important theater. And I told them, I said, I have a comedy troupe, and I think we have an audience, and I think we can sell this theater out for 4 nights, but we don't have any money. And I can remember the theater was $120 a night, and we didn't have a cent. And so they got back to us and they said, we'll let you do a show on the main stage. We'll waive the rental, but we'll split the box office. And I said, okay, what's the split? And they said, 80-20. I said, no, 50-50 or nothing. And they said, well, actually, we were going to suggest you take the 80, and we'll take the 20. Still the best deal I've ever signed in show business. I found out later, of course, because when you're 18, 19, you don't know this, that theater was able to do that because they were supported by the Canada Council for the Arts, and they had a mandate to put emerging artists on that stage. Because I got on that stage, it led to the National Arts Centre, where I did my first one-man show. And it wasn't the National Arts Centre that many of us are going to be at tomorrow. It was a small theater in a garage in the Bywood Market that smelled like gasoline. But they brought me there because they had a mandate to support artists from all across Canada. Then we went back to Newfoundland, and we toured that show with the support of the Newfoundland Labrador Arts Council. And then eventually a national show, and it led to a pilot for a show called This Hour Has 22 Minutes. And then eventually, the Mercer Report. And when we started the Mercer Report, Gerald Lunds and I, we had 2 mandates. Well, he had one, I had another one. We wanted to celebrate Canada every single week. And personally, I wanted to finally answer the question, what does it mean to be Canadian? Because it always drove me nuts that Canadians ask that question, because other countries don't ask it. We had a royal commission that looked into what does it mean to be a Canadian. They produced 18 phone books, they never answered the question. So I thought, I'll answer the question. So I went about celebrating Canada, and I did that every single week. And honestly, it was quite easy. It's not a difficult thing to do when you love your subject matter. But when it came to answering the question, what does it mean to be a Canadian? I don't know if I ever did, and I certainly didn't do it in 250 words or less. But I know that I never, ever probably answered the question, what does it mean to be a Canadian, but never once did I want to be anything else. Thank you very much for this incredible honor. It's been a wonderful ride. Thank you.